you, Madam Toastmaster. India is the land of movies. We love our movies. We get inspired by them. Many of the stories have a movie element in them. So, I like to share 3 of my little movie stories from my life. Number 1, Shravanti is the name of a movie released in the January of 1985. The first story I am going to tell you revolves around this movie. The female lead in the movie, Shravanti, for whom the movie was named, is shown as a strongly independent woman. She stands up to various oppressions and faces difficulties in the way. It was a strong statement on gender equality in the 80s. It won a national award for the year 1985. My parents saw this movie before I was born. I always thought that my name was inspired from this movie. In our culture, there is a concept of a naming ceremony. The main event of the ceremony is the father of the child writes the name of the child in a plate of rice, like this. That seals the name of the child. Right until before the ceremony, my mom thought I'll be named Swati. Incidentally, it's another movie name. They argued quite for some time before this event. But my dad simply took the plate and write the name. And I became Shravanti. Recently, when I saw this movie, I saw an interesting coincidence. This is a picture of the lady who played the role of Shravanti in the movie. And this is a picture of me. Right? Maybe my father was a genius. My second little story is about a movie called Mr. India. This movie, Mr. India, was a popular thriller of the 80s, where the protagonist finds a device which makes him invisible. He uses this power to fight the villain and save the day. One day, when I was about 3 years old, my mom and her friend took me to a movie theater to watch this movie. So in this movie, there comes a scene in which protagonist enters the villain's place invisible. It was a high tense moment. The theater was dead quiet. Suddenly, the audience heard a shrill whistle from the back seat. Most people turned around and all they could see were 2 young ladies with a toddler. Most people frowned at my mom for disturbing at such an important scene. My mom was embarrassed. The truth is though, it was me who whistled. It is something like this. No one would have believed my mom, even though she told the truth. So my mom just gave a sheepish smile. My third little story is about a movie called Love Aajkal. That means love nowadays. This was a popular romantic comedy which was released in the year 2009. This movie is about a couple who fall in and out of love and do not believe in a stable relationships. To talk more about this movie, I need to back up a little bit. When I turned 22, my parents thought I should get married in a traditional arranged marriage process. So they started looking for a suitable match for me. Soon after, I started interacting with potential grooms. I met a couple of them. That did not work out. I met the third guy in a more casual setup. We went to a movie theater. We were supposed to chat up first and then catch a movie. That movie was Love Aajkal, the third movie that I mentioned about unstable relationships. Maybe the choice of the movie was a bad idea. Then started before the movie, this guy seems a bit interesting and a bit risky. He said that his main objective in his life is to find and do the things that give him a kick. He said he'll get bored easily. After chatting for a while, we went and watched the movie. After the movie, I thought a lot about what he said. It may be the result of the movie that we saw. I told my mom that this guy seems a bit unstable. She too became a concern that. So I decided not to go with him and sent him an email. Luckily with this guy, the story did not end up there. The third guy now is sitting here with my kid. Usually, the best things in life are not directly visible to us. They disguise themselves. Sometimes it takes years to know their importance. It has been 6 years since I married this guy. It is a wonderful journey. Luckily, the story did not end up there. Luckily, the story did not end up there only. It has been a great experience sharing these little stories with you all. Thank you. Thank you. Wow.